This is KGW News at Sunrise.
After a 2-month test run of officers wearing body cameras, the city of Portland is ready to roll out a permanent program. So we're going to let you know when that will happen and what the rules will be for Portland officers wearing body cams coming up in one of our top local stories. Plus,
it would be a very steep hill to climb to get rid of the kicker.
But getting rid of the kicker is exactly what one Portland Public School Board member wants to do in order to free up money for state school funding. Coming up, a polling expert weighs in on that proposal and its implications.
What is good, everyone? It is Orlando Sanchez, and we are in Las Vegas to cover the Oregon Ducks' biggest game of the season, taking on rival Washington Huskies for the Pac-12 championship and potentially a trip to the college football playoff. That's coming up.
we are getting closer to the big game. It is tomorrow night. I'll tell you what, I know that Washington beat Oregon earlier. I know that Washington is ranked higher than Oregon right now, but it seems as though the experts are really believing in the Ducks at this point.
I mean, I thought when I watched the UW-Oregon game, even though UW won, I thought Oregon was the better team on the field. They just didn't win that night.
And I think the coach even admitted to making a couple of mistakes on his end that would have made the difference in that game. All right, we'll talk more about that later.
Orlando's excited because he probably gets to go to the college championship game if the Ducks make it, right?
Yep, you're right.
That dirty scoundrel. All right, I'm jealous. Here's a look at the rain. Already starting to move in. It's light stuff down in Marion County. We've had light rain around Tillamook and Newport, some light showers up around the Longview area. So far, nothing in Portland. There could be some light showers fill in at any time, but it doesn't look like we really get much in the way of measurable precip until we get past 9 o'clock this morning here in the Rose City. Still realize cloudy, rain chances already picking up. We're watching temps. Guess what? Hillsborough was 31 an hour ago, now 32. As you look at these temps and you think, gee, moisture's coming in. Is it going to snow? Realize these temperatures are going to hold steady to go up, not go down. They're steady and they're rising in some cases. So we feel pretty confident in our call that as precipitation comes in, it will just be rain this morning here in the valley. 38 out at the airport right now, 40 at noon. Pretty good rain band late morning into the noon hour, then occasional shots of rain into this evening. It's chilly, only 42 at 5 p.m. Here's Chris.
Train is back. All right, our morning commute so far, the traffic map is all green. Let's take that on further inspection, checking out the Abernathy Bridge. This is I-205. We're on the Oregon City side here from 99E, looking across towards West Lynn and Highway 43. Traffic rolling along just fine there. I-5 out of Clark County. This is up at SR 500. Plenty of elbow room there. Again, guys, no major issues on the roads just yet. We're off to a good start.
Okay, thank you, Chris. City Council members voted unanimously to spend up to $2.6 million on a permanent program to equip Portland police officers with body cameras. The police department recently wrapped up a 2-month-long pilot program with about 150 officers testing out the technology. The hope is to have body cameras on most officers permanently by next summer. The plan is to have nearly 300 patrol officers wearing the cameras every day, with an additional 500 sworn-in members of the force, from detectives to sergeants, wearing them when they interact with the public.
It's long overdue. It is imperative in addressing police accountability. It is imperative in mitigating our risk of sometimes unfounded claims made against Portland police.
I also want to just caution the public. It's going to take some time for us to phase in the rollout of body cameras and make sure that everybody has sufficient training and sufficient understanding of how these tools will work.
For minor cases, officers will be able to review footage from body cameras before they write a report. In more serious cases, officers will be interviewed before they watch the video.
Well, days after striking a new contract with its teachers, the Portland Public School District is calling on the state for more money to foot the bill. And one suggestion for that funding is the state's taxpayer kicker fund. Devin Haskins is covering the story for us this morning. So, Devin, it's starting to seem like the district just signed off on a deal that they actually can't afford.
Yeah, it's because the new contract, $175 million over the next 3 years. They say they can't afford it, and says because of that, new cuts will probably have to happen, although we don't know where those cuts could be coming from. So instead of another fight with a union, the district says they're going to target the state. The last legislative cycle, the state legislature allocated a state record $10.2 billion to schools statewide. PPS board member Andrew Scott says it's not enough and suggested the kicker refund for Oregonians go to schools instead of back to the taxpayers. This year, Oregon is set to distribute more than $5 billion from its kicker fund, with an average refund of $2,100. All right, so if you didn't know, the kicker is a state program that refunds tax payments to Oregonians when tax revenues exceed projections by 2%. And experts say getting lawmakers to make a change to the kicker fund is unlikely. First off, it would require a change to Oregon's constitution. Second, the kicker is pretty popular. Polls show 2/3 of Oregonians like it, and any politician that wanted to take that fight on would have a steep uphill climb.
We would be asking voters to not only not get that money anymore, which they feel like that they need, but to give it to a government what they don't have a lot of confidence in. You know, politics is dynamic and lots of things can happen, but I think it would be a very steep hill to climb to get rid of the kicker.
Now, Governor Tina Kotek says the state needs to look for changes in 2025, which is the next time that the state legislature will debate school funding. Back to you.
All right, we'll have more from Devin on this in our next hour of Sunrise. We do want to get to some other headlines, though, this morning. Authorities say Negasi Zuberi, that's the man accused of kidnapping a woman in Seattle and locking her in a cinder block cell in his Klamath Falls home earlier this year. Authorities say he allegedly tried to break out of jail. We know this happened back in August, but now we have photos. We just got these photos from the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, and they show an orange plastic sandal with a screw attached to them. There it is, the orange plastic sandal there with the screw attached. Investigators say that was the improvised tool that was used to chip away at Zuberi's jail cell window. He remains in jail this morning. He's awaiting both state and federal trials, and he'll be in court next this coming Monday.
And in Portland, police say they caught a serial robber in the act. Look at this. The man apparently hit a convenience store on North Greeley Avenue back on November 17th. Investigators say an officer, worried that the same man might strike again, set up a stakeout at a nearby store. Then, an hour later, the man showed up with a gun. Police then took 24-year-old Kermarji Trent Grant into custody. He was arraigned yesterday on more charges because detectives say they've linked him to several other open cases. They're now looking for additional victims.
Hey, before we get to Rod's forecast, a quick mention about an annual event every year in Portland during the holiday season. It's the Safeway Providence Festival of Trees, and it's happening one day only for the public tomorrow at the Oregon Convention Center. So they've kind of scaled down the event to some degree as far as the public show is concerned. It is happening tomorrow between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. So I think you have to pull out your kids from school in order to take them to this event tomorrow. This year, 41 years is what they're celebrating from this festival's beginnings. It's at the Oregon Convention Center. Lots of trees there, lots of Christmas decorations. There's an elf academy that the kids can attend and graduate from. So again, the Providence Safeway Festival of Trees, tomorrow only at the Convention Center.
Elf Academy.
Yeah. I could probably attend. You basically go there and you bid on beautifully decorated trees, and you take the whole flipping tree home with the decorations, don't you?
Well, there's two events. There's the public event where you go to the show, but then there is an auction event. That's separate. You got to pay a ticket for that, and yes, that's where people bid on those trees to take them home.
All right.
Yes.
Tell you more about this whole Elf Academy thing later.
Yeah.
Here's a look at the satellite picture, if we will. We have the first front right here. The rain already starting to pick up. I mentioned earlier, Portland is dry right now. We could start picking up some light rain literally any time. It doesn't look like we get much here in Portland until after 9 o'clock this morning, but already seeing light rain down in Salem and some showers up around Kelso Longview. The main thing Futurecast is picking up on is that first batch of heavier rain with the front coming in that I just mentioned. So here it is at 10 o'clock this morning. That's really wet into the noon hour, and then occasional shots behind that this afternoon, tonight, into tomorrow. Now, a reminder, please, if you're going to be driving on 84 out in the gorge, just take a second, check weather conditions. You'll want to take a look at what the temperature is at Cascade Lock, Stevenson, Hood River, and the Dalles. It still looks like, this is 4:30 on Futurecast, this bluish tone is all snow. It still looks like it's mainly all snow falling out of the sky this afternoon, evening, and overnight in the gorge. But during the daytime today, temperatures are expected to be above 32, so it wouldn't be sticking. Now tonight, there could be sticking snow. Temperatures will be around freezing. You folks in some areas of the gorge could wake up to an inch or two or even 3 on the ground tomorrow morning. This shows snow early tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. with a temperature of 32 in the gorge. And it's a snow advisory for the high country today, starting this afternoon mainly, and then a winter storm warning for heavier snow amounts down to 3,000 feet tomorrow. That's well below passes in the Cascades. This is 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. We've just seen another heavy shot of rain come through. More shots of rain coming through at times Friday. Once we get to 10 o'clock Friday morning, it's all rain in the gorge, so that ends that worry. Here's tomorrow morning. All right, pretty wet, and then bam, there it comes in. This is the first really prolonged period of just steady, heavy rain at times. Saturday evening, night into Sunday noon, we could be looking at 1.5 inches of rain alone just in that time period. Futurecast, actually, this is the European computer model of the numbers. So let me correct myself. About 1/4 inch in Portland today. I like that number. Maybe we add around 1/2 inch or a little bit more during the day tomorrow. That puts us up to 8/10. And then we get the heavier rain totals Saturday night into Sunday morning through Sunday day. And certainly possible we get more than 3 through the period here in the valley. And certainly possible we get well over 4 at the coast. 5 to 8 today in the Cascades, 8 to 12 tomorrow, 6 to 10 Saturday. Then it goes all rain on Sunday. Morning numbers, yeah, we're near freezing. In fact, Forest Grove and Hillsboro 32, Salem's at 35 with some light rain. We think if you are freezing right now, your temperature will be above freezing when any moisture arrives. Every day has rain. The wettest period Saturday night into Sunday, and again Tuesday night and Wednesday. Both of those periods well over 1 inch. Wow.